The Autobiography of Mark Twain by Mark Twain. Introduction. Mark Twain had been a celebrity for a good many years before he could be persuaded to regard himself as anything more than an accident, a news writer to whom distinction had come as a matter of good fortune rather than as a tribute to genius. Sooner or later his vein would be worked out, when he would of necessity embark in other pursuits. He had already owned a newspaper, and experimented more or less casually, and unfortunately, with a variety of other enterprises, when in 1884 he capitalized a publishing concern, primarily to produce his own works, but not without a view to the establishment of something more dependable than authorship. It probably never occurred to him during those years that he had achieved anything like a permanent place in literary history. If the idea of an autobiography had intruded itself now and then, it had not seriously troubled him. But a year later, when the publication by his firm of the Memoirs of General U.S. Grant brought him into daily association with the dying conqueror, the thought came that the story of this episode might be worthy of preservation. It was not, for the present at least, to be an autobiography, but no more than a few chapters, built around a great historic figure. General Grant's own difficulties in setting down his memories suggested prompt action. Mark Twain's former lecture agent, James Redpath, was visiting him at this time, and with a knowledge of shorthand became his amanuensis. The work they did together was considerable, covering in detail the story of the Grant publishing venture. Clemens may have planned other chapters of a personal sort, but unaccustomed to dictation, he found the work tedious, with a result, as it seemed to him, unsatisfactory. A number of important things happened to Mark Twain during the next dozen years, among them his business failure, which left him with a load of debt, dependent entirely upon authorship and the lecture platform for rehabilitation and support. The story of his splendid victory, the payment to the last dollar of his indebtedness, has been widely told. He was in Vienna when he completed this triumph, and, whatever he had been before, he was now unquestionably a world figure with a recognized place in history. Realization of this may have prompted him to begin, during those busy Vienna winters, 1897 to 1899, something in the nature of an autobiography, recollections of his Missouri childhood, a picture as primitive and far removed from today as anything of the colonial period. These chapters were handwritten, his memory was fresh and eager, and in none of his work is there greater charm. As he proceeded, he did not confine himself.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?